Welcome to Taking Care of Business with Freddie Fix-It Santori as they bring the power of AMP2.TV video format to the radio. Today's show will have interviews and concepts that bring you, the public, closer to how real radio and television work hand in hand to bring the best platform to sell your business. Tune in on the WWNNradio.com website or follow AMP on AMP2.TV website to see radio.
Hi, my name is Sabrina Barnett, and we are here on AMP2.TV, WWNN Radio. Thank you so much for listening in, and we've got a great show for you today. Hi.
Hi.
Are we taking care of business, April Davis?
Every day.
And what are you doing? Tell us a little bit about what you're doing and how and why you want to share your love with the people that are watching us right now.
I am currently owner of Wine and Canvas Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach. I own all of Broward, Palm Beach County, and Glades in Henry County up by the Okeechobee. And what I do is I bring the painting party to them. I'm a mobile business, so I can go anywhere there's tables and chairs. We go to a lot of venues. We bring the painting party anywhere we can, and we just have fun at it.
Let me ask you this, because this sounds like a lot of fun. I want to do a painting party. Can you do a painting party anywhere, or does it have to be in a certain location? You said you have a mobile van, right?
Absolutely.
So what does that mean exactly for any of our listeners that want to have a party?
We can show up anywhere that you have tables and chairs. Wind can always be a factor, so sometimes it's not the greatest outdoors, but it's still fun.
Sure.
And anywhere you have tables and chairs, we bring everything that has to do with the art. We bring the artwork, the artist, and we teach you step by step how to paint that particular painting of the evening or the painting that you have chosen as a private party.
Wait a second. That sounds really good. But what about somebody like myself that may not be able to paint?
We teach you step
I may be a little bit nervous on that.
My favorite customers are the ones who come in and say, I cannot even draw a stick figure, because we teach them step by step by step, and they leave proud, very proud of what they've done.
So I would like to introduce one of our other guests, Irene Arce. And Irene, you are an incredible supporter of what you're doing, April. So can you tell us a little bit why you've been going to these events and what do you get out of it?
It's fun.
That's the bottom line, right?
Yeah,
okay, that's enough. It's fun. We all want to have fun, right?
It's fun. For me, painting is relaxing. It's my stress reliever. And Wine and Canvas is great. As she said, they do it step by step.
Right.
So you're not going to go there and see a painting and go, oh my God, I'm never going to get
feeling
this done.
overwhelmed
Right.
about, I'm not an artist, I don't know how to do this. Yeah.
Exactly. They take you step by step. And even if you doubt yourself, she'll come over and she always has a good word.
Oh, nice.
Like, you're doing great. It's looking fine. Mm-hmm. You know, there's always encouragement.
That's
so
a great
that you
thing.
keep going.
Right. It almost sounds like we all need encouragement. And a lot of us that don't know, like you said, a lot of people do stick figures, right? And now all of a sudden at one of your events, they show up and everything's there for them?
Everything's there for them.
So they just show up?
They just show up. They buy their food and their drink from the venue when we provide everything else, including the party aspect.
Great. So I'm a stick figure person, okay? So I'm a candidate number one, and I come to one of your events, and all of a sudden I see a bunch of canvases there. It almost seems like if I don't know what I'm doing, you educate me, but not only do you educate me, it's almost like a therapy session. Is that right? I'm kind of feeling, I don't know. I've never been to one of them, but walk us through it a little bit.
It kind of is. I bring to the table a little bit extra because I do have a master's in social work. And
nice.
So I really do try to pull the positives out of almost every situation. In fact, I had a lady that hadn't actually ever painted with me, but she met me at one of my events and signed up, and then she needed to come back 5 minutes later and change the time. And I told her, we don't have problems, we only have solutions. A month later, she called me, and she told me I changed her life with just that one statement.
Wow.
And she's continued to come to more events, and she still touches base with me every month to just let me know what an impact I had in that one sentence.
You know, that's huge, an impact. I love an instant impact, because really life can be so full of stress and so full of running around, and life gets in the way. I always say life gets in the way. Well, what does that mean? It means that sometimes we forget about ourselves. We forget about helping another person. And that's what's so beautiful. You didn't have to be on this show today. You came to support what it is that this organization is really doing. And April has really birthed this idea. Tell me, how long have you been in business?
I've been in business 19 months. We opened March of 2014. March of 2014. And the company itself has been around for 5 years. It originated in Indianapolis. I was a consumer myself originally, and I would take some of my clients that I worked with, developmentally disabled, etc., as well as I'd go for myself. And I'd sit there after I was done, and I'd obsess and obsess and obsess about my paintings, and I just was hooked. I was hooked. And so I have children who are artists. They're in their 20s, and that was originally my reason for coming here and bringing this to South Florida, was to create a family business.
So it's just you in the business, or?
It is just me now in the business.
And you've gone through some hardships. I know we were talking right before we went on air, and I love the fact that you have been able to get to the place that you are today, where you can actually be on a television show and talk about your success. So please, can you help inspire maybe somebody else out there that is feeling that they're maybe lost, or educate our listener a little bit on what your background is?
You know, my personal background, I'm a product of foster care myself. Then I worked in the system. I went to school for ever and ever and ever and ever. I have my master's degree now, which is uncommon for a product of somebody who aged out of the foster care system.
That's huge.
And every
Congratulations
opportunity,
on that.
thank you. Every opportunity I have to give back in any way, animals, people, kids, animals, animals. I'm
Giving back, I think, is the key.
absolutely.
Right there, because it seems that's what you're doing with Wine and Canvas.
Absolutely.
Wine and Canvas is, it seems, and again, I've never been. I'd love to go. Am I invited to one of your?
Your seat is on
I
me,
would
darling.
love- thank you so much. But it's not only painting. It seems like it's really just a zone where you can feel safe, have a good time.
Definitely.
Right?
And
Is that right? Do you feel that as well?
Most definitely. I'm an introvert, and
Irene, no, you're not an introvert. You've got a beautiful smile.
just this last painting on Sunday,
Uh-huh.
I introduced her, and she's like, "Oh my God, look at you!"
she's come so far. She's painted with me 18 times, if you can believe that.
I
I've
can.
been
I would want to
business
paint with you 18 or 19
Aw,
times too.
Thank you. I have other people that, for most people, it's really just about being able to turn off the rest of the world. You don't think about your
Yes.
bills. You don't think about the kids. You don't think about
Just
this.
zone
You
out.
just only think about what you're
Right.
doing. And then for some extra added therapy towards that, I do require a safe place. So I often tell people, you know, we are very good at picking on ourselves. We're our worst critic.
goodness,
And
yes.
what I wasn't prepared for in this business was the social anxiety that came with it. So
What does that mean? Educate me, please, and our
people are
listeners.
so nervous about how they're
Performing.
performing in front of others.
Right.
And as a social worker, I would think I would have been prepared for that, but no, people are become very socially anxious when it comes to this performance.
Would you equate that as a social worker to maybe an insecurity that can help birth itself through a barrier?
Yeah, definitely. Like,
So this
I mean,
is much more than just painting.
much more. Because once they do it,
What
they're
about
committed to
couples?
the process.
Couples. I don't know. Something about couples is coming into my head right now.
Absolutely.
Maybe
It's-
it could be if couples are going through a hard time. If it's not just painting, it's a fun experience. It's around food and wine or food and beverage, right?
Date night is one of our favorite
Great.
nights. We have date night paintings even too, where they can paint side by side paintings, and together they equal one. And the neatest
what does
thing,
that look like?
amazing, and sometimes very different on each
Right,
side.
I can imagine
but
because two people are so different, right?
but we encourage everybody to embrace their style. And oftentimes the men, I have quite a few men that do come to our events. I think higher than the national average for the sip and paint industries. So we're at about 23% men versus 98% women usually is where it is. And a lot of times the men are having the most fun when they least expected it. So they haven't painted since second grade, or
Right, I was
maybe
gonna
they haven't
say.
painted anything except a house or a room.
Or a stick figure.
And right, or a stick figure.
Don't be insecure if there's any stick figure people out there that don't know how to paint, right?
Like, we can teach you, and you'll have fun at it. But with the men, a lot of the times they find they have talent that they didn't even know they had. And so we've had Wine and Canvas as a whole nationwide has had people start with Wine and Canvas and then turn around and now they're selling their paintings themselves.
That's beautiful.
So it's really rebirthing.
So that's a real encouragement, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's wonderful.
I'm a new artist because of Wine and Canvas. I consider myself an infant artist, but because I just now, because of Wine and Canvas, have allowed my creative side to come back out after being in education and academia forever.
Right. Well, there's a lot of people that I think can really gain a lot from allowing their creative side to birth and blossom. And some people have a lot of different outs as far as a release where it's music or where it's poetry. But painting is something that's been around since the beginning of man. I mean, you look at the stick figures in caves.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
The ancient times and the pyramids and things like that. So I would imagine that it was a therapy even back then. So you're really doing something that is of an ancient descent that you're helping to bring a therapeutic space for people, right?
Absolutely. And again, just Irene is the greatest example of how somebody has just kind of blossomed and flowered.
Irene, please, can we, I know you're shy, but I really would love for our viewers to hear you. The beginning, the first time, you've been to 18 of these events, right? So the first time, what was it like for you? Were you shy? Are you an artist? Or give us a little bit of your background, the first event that you went to.
Well, I've always dabbled in the arts and crafts. So my first time going there, I was like, hide me, like, can I sit under the table?
I think you're not alone with that one.
Like, can I sit under the table and just
like pencil in the numbers?
Yeah, or color in the, yeah. But
and do you still have that piece of work from your first time?
No, actually, when my family comes over,
yes,
or I'm on Facebook. So when my family or friends see a painting and they like it, I send it to them.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So my paintings are on most of my family's walls or on my friends from California.
So you're not only able to have fun and grow as an artist and have a therapy session, but you're also able to gift these paintings away to loved ones, friends, market and promote it on social media. Is that right?
Most definitely, yes.
Well, I have to tell you, this has been an absolutely incredible experience for me because I really didn't know much about it. Why don't you let our viewers know what the website is?
www.wineandcanvas.com. From there, you're going to select the Fort Lauderdale Palm Beach location, and from there, you'll select the Wine and Canvas calendar. That'll show you where we are, when we are, and what we're painting each evening.
And do you have a theme?
Our themes change, but we generally stick with, of course, seascapes because we are in South Florida. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of SoFlo seascapes.
Can people see that actually when they go to your website? Do you have examples? Like say I want to do a party, an event. Mm-hmm. This is not just in a restaurant because you're mobile, right?
Correct.
So I want to do, my
corporate
girlfriend's
events.
getting married. And I want to do, I don't know, give me an example. I'm trying to get creative here. Like if I want to give my girlfriend a wedding or a bridal shower, can we do that?
Absolutely. And
That
we
would
do
be
a little
fun.
we do a little bit extra for the bride too. One of my artists a year ago helped create this idea that I've kind of ran with. Mm-hmm. So we do the painting that you've chosen for the night. And you can always
we can choose our own paintings.
Absolutely.
Oh,
for
okay.
a private event, you get to choose your own
And
painting.
how do you choose that on the website, or do we call you?
If you go to my website, you can go all the way back to the beginning of time when I first started and see everything we've ever painted. And from there, it'll give. So that's basically our whole catalog of paintings is on the website on the calendar.
So
if you go backwards.
May I interrupt you for a second? If anybody has any questions, I want to ask you to call in at 888-565-1470. That's 888-565-1470. And here we are again with April Davis and Irene Arce, and I would love to be able to have you continue. So just tell us, if I'm wanting to give a gift of any sort, Valentine's Day, what give us some themes that people may have, some of the viewers out there may have an idea of how they can gift somebody a beautiful gift, from therapy to art.
For exactly. I mean, we accept gift certificates, or you can just call in and register. Pride myself on being a boutique concierge service. So
That
generally,
sounds so chic.
generally, I am always answering the phone. I have booked parties at 11 o'clock at night. I am 24/7 answering the phone if I'm not asleep. I don't shut down ever, literally. And I do want to circle back real quick to the bridal event,
Sure.
because what we do for the bride is really neat. So we paint the regular painting that they've selected for the evening. Everybody does. But we also provide one painting that everybody works on, and we give that to the bride herself. So, for example, we'll put a bouquet of flowers in a vase using the bride colors or the wedding colors. And then each person who's attending the event will put a flower on, or I'll coach them how to put a flower on, each person putting their own individual flower. And then that's just a courtesy gift that we provide for the bride, so that she has a takeaway along with the takeaway experience that she'll always remember.
That's awesome. So, in all of the times that you've been doing this, do you have one actual event that maybe sticks out right now to mind? For instance, something like what you just said. That's a beautiful experience, and I've never heard of it. It's a complete new way of enjoying each other.
Absolutely. We've done some great events. One of my best events ever was for the Black Women of Power. We did it at the Boca Resort, Waldorf Astoria Boca Resort, and it was so phenomenal.
Did you
They
have
were
wine?
so great. They had all the wine they wanted.
I could imagine the laughter.
We do, and that was a corporate event. That was a corporate private party. Every private party I have, I swear it's the best and the most fun, until the next one I have, and then it's the most fun. We have a lot of fun at the private events.
You probably get just as much of a healing as everybody else with all the laughter, right? It's a fun,
Absolutely.
engaging.
Absolutely.
People are enjoying. There's spirit there. There's laughter. There's painting.
Absolutely.
There's healing. There's therapy.
And
I want to go. When's your
something-
next one?
you absolutely can join us at Beer Garden right around the corner.
Beer Garden.
Beer
where?
Garden.
Where are we? In Boca Raton.
Boca Raton, right
Okay.
around the corner, off of Federal Highway.
And what time is that going on?
Those are usually on Sundays from 2 to 5.
2 to 5. Is that pretty much consistent
For
Our
that
viewers?
particular location, yeah. My weekend events are usually 2 to 5, and then my weekday events are usually 6:30 to 9:30.
That's a good thing. So anybody looking to relieve some stress, enjoy some artwork after work, it's from 6:30 to 9:30. Do you have any particular places in mind?
Oh, I'm all over. So I'm in Coral Springs at Tavolino della Nona's, my number one favorite place in the world.
Where is that?
In Coral Springs, Tavolino della Nona's. If you haven't been there, you absolutely should go there, and you should try the almond cookies. I tell everybody that.
I love cookies.
We've been to Sage in Fort Lauderdale. We're at Kelly's Brothers Pub right there
I've
on
been to Sage in Fort Lauderdale. That's
Yep.
a great place too.
Kelly's Brothers Pub. We've been at Tequila Sunrise since the beginning of the time. They're one of our best supporters. They're where I usually have a lot of my Fort Lauderdale private events because they're so flexible with me. Again, Beer Garden. We go all the way up to, we were at the Embassy Suites in Palm Beach Gardens for a very long time, Seasons 52. So we go a little bit of everywhere. And if restaurants are interested or venues are interested
just gonna
in
ask
me
you that,
coming there,
yes.
please. My email is April, APRYL, at wineandcanvas.com. I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to start coordinating events in your area. I definitely have a lot more expansion I can do, but I'm kind of a one-man crew, so
Well, what I love about you is I want to touch on two things. Again, if there are any viewers out there that have restaurants, it's a great marketing and promotional tool for you as well, because it's an added benefit to your food and your wine. And I believe, April, you come and you help market and promote the event as well. Obviously, doing radio and television is amazing.
right. I Facebook market a lot. And
So you would actually help collaborate and co-brand with whatever.
Yes.
So again, if there are any restaurant owners out there that are either listening on WWNN Radio or AMP2 TV, please contact April. She's got an incredible business going. It's fun. It's new. It's fresh. It's exciting. It's another opportunity for, I would say, a restaurant to have something that's maverick and fun and different, right?
Definitely. And we want to come in on the nights that they're typically slowest so that we can bring the business to them and we don't interfere with their already existing business because it is quite a party. So we kind of do, tend to take it, it kind of draws a crowd, so to speak. So we want to be sure to be there on the nights that they need us versus
Right.
we don't try to fit it in to where it's convenient for us. We want it to be convenient for the venue.
And the great thing, too, that I want to touch on that doesn't really have to do so much with wine and canvas, but it has to do with you as a person. People can enjoy wine and canvas, and restaurants can appreciate the marketing and promotion and the therapy for the individual. And somebody like yourself, Irene, that's really birthed from 18 times. Obviously, this is something that's really, it's new. You've only been open 19 months. So there's really something very special going on here that you've helped market, generate, and promote. And so I'd like to talk about a little bit more about what allowed you that place, that space to say, you know what, I'm going to make this happen.
My kids have always been, I loved them before I loved myself. And look, you got me emotional now. So my kids have always been my driving force. Originally, that was the reason for me to start this business. I had a thriving practice back in Indiana, but I was in Indiana, and I never wanted to be in Indiana the whole time I was
Indiana.
there.
Don't get you. Don't
I'm
get me wrong,
sorry.
but we
I'm
love
sorry.
you here in South
I'm
Florida
a
even
Hoosier,
more.
born and bred, but
April.
I couldn't wait to get out of there. And that was more so because I knew there was great opportunity elsewhere, and I'm just really drawn to the water. That's the honest
Well,
answer.
they say water is a very powerful place to be, right? Where the sand
Exactly.
meets the water. And so maybe we can do something out on the beach. Have you ever done that?
We have done it on the beach. Again, wind can kind of be a not our friend,
Sure.
but it's always fun, and we don't have problems. We only have solutions, so we figure it out as we go along.
Another thing I was thinking about is, have you ever done something at a hotel per se, where you can say, we'll take up a portion of the hotel, whatever restaurant or pool area or something, and just have a different experience for the guests. I think
Definitely.
hotels would love that.
Definitely.
Just as something different.
We did that at the Embassy Suites for almost a year. It was great.
Nice.
It was great. They're doing some rebranding and some changing around, so we're no longer there any longer. But it was fabulous the time that we were there. We've been approached by different communities. We can go, again, anywhere, the social clubs, the community clubhouse. If you want us to come to your community clubhouse anywhere in Boca or West Palm Beach or Pembroke Pines, we can go there. We're very flexible as far as what we're willing to do and where we're willing to
Well,
go.
the good thing is that you're mobile, right, April?
Absolutely. No overhead.
Wine and Canvas, an incredible business, an incredible opportunity for you to enjoy painting, therapy, fun, a little wine, a little social, a little food, a little bit of everything, right?
A lot of fun.
Give us your website one more time.
wineandcanvas.com, and again, selecting the Fort Lauderdale Palm Beach location. And if you happen to be in Tampa or Orlando, I know those ladies too. They're fabulous. Tampa, I've been friends with her over 25 years. She also is a Hoosier. And
We love you.
Yep.
You just promote other people. That's a wonderful sign of just feeling comfortable. in your own
I feel
skin.
really strongly about that. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for other small businesses, and so I feel really strongly about promoting other small
Well, I
businesses.
would like to say to anybody out there that is a woman in business, you have a beautiful woman right here that supports other women, and I think that's a really fantastic part of your personality.
Thank you. Another thing that we also do as a company, I give away gift certificates for silent auctions and galas and
Great.
donations.
Well, I'm working with a bunch of different charities, but one of them that's dear to mind is single mothers, and we have single mothers that have children sometimes with autism or breast cancer, the mother or the children even with cancer, and they're on the bus maybe 4 hours a day. So you're an artist, and I would love to be able to possibly have you help. The organization's called Wheels from the Heart.
Definitely.
And I will tell them about you because I think it's all about collaborating and uplifting people and making a difference in people's lives. Like you said, what was it that you said at the beginning of our show about how that woman, you changed her life? Can you just say that one more time? Because it was so beautiful, so simple, and yet so impactful.
It was one simple statement. She, again, needed to change her time, and she was doing a lot of that self-deprecating, beating up on herself. And I simply said, we don't have problems. We only have solutions. and she's been going through some major health issues and this, that, and the other. And again, she called me a month later and said, "You probably don't even remember me, but you changed my life with that one statement."
How'd that make you feel?
Like $1 million. Nobody could have paid me $1 million and it wouldn't have felt as gratifying.
It's priceless, isn't it?
It is.
So you're doing something very special. I honor you. I thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here. It's just awesome. And again, if there are any couples out there that are going through a hard time and you want a little lift me up, a little pick me up, a little something different that you don't normally do, go to the movies, that's great. But I think it's really wonderful to be around a positive environment, something that is creative, like painting, even if you're a stick figure painter like myself, right?
You won't be after you're done with us.
So you'll just walk us through. Not a problem.
be
I don't have to
amazed.
feel
You will be
intimidated, right,
amazed.
Irene? Irene's here to tell us a little bit, right, Irene?
Yeah, right.
Because you were
it's
very
step by
scared
step.
at first.
It's step by step. She'll tell you, okay, we're going to do this. And she waits for you to do that step.
Right.
And then she'll ask, is everybody ready for the next step?
Oh, is everybody. So it's a whole, like a group thing. So now we've also maybe it could be a social event.
Yes. How many new friends do you have, Irene? Quite a few now because of Wine and Canvas. And I have
Wine
people
and
who
Canvas,
follow me.
love that.
I have people who follow me to all sorts of my different venues. So they'll be able to see somebody at one venue that
Right.
you might see each other again and again because a lot of people do follow me.
Such a great opportunity
If you're willing
for
to
people
drive
meet
farther than
people.
12 minutes, which people in the beginning, that was a challenge. People did not want to drive farther than 12 minutes out of their comfort zone. But now people
You
are.
said something very interesting, and we're almost at close, but I just wanted to jump on the comfort zone. If there's anybody out there living in their comfort zone, jump out of it, be flexible, enjoy something different. This is April Davis and Irene RC, and Irene's been there 18 times, so she's like the perfect example of having fun. Somebody that wasn't considerably an artist, right? But April just walks everybody through it. So it's Wine and Canvas. Before we close, can you just please tell us what the website is and how people can get in contact with you?
It's wineandcanvas.com. And again, select the Fort Lauderdale Palm Beach location. My phone number is 754-202-5222. And I do want to throw out some thanks too, because I'm not in it completely by myself. I do a lot of my shows myself, but I have some great artists. So I want to thank Nikki and I want to thank Karen and Kaz for having been with me the whole time. And the other artists that I've had along the way. Chrissy, she was the actual customer. So
Thank you so much. Well, we greatly appreciate you being here with us. My name is Sabrina Barnett, and we are taking care of business. Wine and Canvas, check it out. Thank you so much for listening.
You have been listening to Taking Care of Business, powered by AMP2.TV. You can reach AMP2.TV by calling 866-224-5422 and join the AMP2.TV radio TV network. We give you all the tools you need to have your own show, both on radio and TV, and bring new energy and ideas to the business you're trying to promote. If you want to be a leader in new concepts and make your business #1 in the area, AMP2.TV has the platforms to get you there. 866-224-5422 is the number to get you started. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of